We'll continue on this video regarding rate laws. Remember what a rate law is. Rate law is a mathematical expression where it shows rate, it shows rate constant, it also shows the concentration of the reactant, say A and B, and it shows the reaction order. For A, it might be M, and for B, it might be N. We have given you these values here, the reaction order M and N, but I haven't shown you any examples or solved any problems where we have, say, A and B concentration and even the rate. Well, having these values, how do we find K? How do we find M? And how do we find N? And this video will cover these mathematical equations in order to find the rate laws through the method of initial rates. So there are two methods that I'm going to introduce to you. And the first method is it involves measuring the reaction rates for multiple experimental trials carried out using different initial reactant concentration. What that means is that you're going to take multiple different initial concentration of the reactant and you're going to look at the rate of the product that is being formed initially and start comparing those values to find rate law. For example, for method 1, we have nitric oxide forming into ozone. Nitric oxide and ozone forming into nitric dioxide and oxygen. And this is occurring in the world right now. Because of the pollution of the nitric oxide, the ozone is being depleted. As shown in the very top or the pole of the Earth, you see that the ozone is being depleted. In blue shows that there's a depletion of ozone layer. Well, there has been an experiment done in the laboratory to show that the nitric oxide and the ozone, or O3, are forming into nitric dioxide. But how fast, right? Well, this table shows if the initial concentration of the nitric oxide is in this, right? All these data, and ozone is here. This is how fast nitrogen dioxide is being formed, and you see how ozone is going to be depleted to form the nitric dioxide. Now, having this table format will help you find the rate law. Remember what a rate law is. Rate law is just a mathematical expression that shows the relationship between the rate and the reactants. So rate will equal to, for this example, is K, which is the rate constant, nitric oxide and ozone, and we don't know the reaction order on top. And that's what we're going to try to figure out. The value of the K. We want to know the value of the M and the N. That's our goal right now. So let's go ahead and look at these values over here. We're going to look at constant value versus the values that are moving around. So constant meaning here's nitric oxide. Trial 1, 2, and 3, you'll notice that they're all constant, hasn't changed. Whereas the ozone, you see that has changed. It has double going from 3 to 6, and it has triple going from 3 to 9. Let's look at the reaction rate. Well, when ozone has doubled, you'll see that the reaction rate also has doubled. 6.60 times 10 to the negative 5 and 1.32 times 10 to the negative 4 shows that it has doubled. If you don't believe me, dividing 1.32 times 10 to the negative 4 divided by 6.60 times 10 to the negative 5 will give you approximate 2. Here's a triple. So here's going 3 to 9. So it has tripled. And over here going from 6.60 times 10 to the negative 5 to 1.98 times 10 to the negative 4. That shows it has tripled. When you see there is a doubling effect for both the reactant concentration and the concentration for a reaction rate, then we can say that this is in one order. Here is a better way to show you what I mean. So the concentration, say, has doubled and the reaction rate doubled, or concentration has tripled, then the reaction rate has tripled. Well, we see that correlation, then we say the reaction order is 1. So for M, the reaction order is 1. Let's look at for ozone. We're going to keep the ozone. Oh, I'm sorry, for N. We're talking about ozone. We just talked about ozone, not nitric oxide. So that's 1 right there. What about for a nitric oxide? We're going to keep ozone the same. So you see trial 3, 4, and 5. Those are constant. Whereas nitric oxide, you see that has changed. And then we're going to compare the nitric oxide with the reaction rate. So here you see it has doubled, and from 3 to 5 trial, it has tripled. Okay, then let's look at the reaction. So here going from 1.98 to 3.96, that's kind of like 2 to 4. So it shows that it has doubled. From trial 3 to 5, you see that it has tripled. So again, you see that concentration times has doubled and the reaction rate doubled. If the concentration times has tripled, the reaction rate has also tripled. So we know that the reaction order for this one is also 1 as well. So therefore, we can say that the rate of the reaction for this is K to the NO to the first order and ozone to the first order. Or you don't have to write the 1 because if you don't write the 1, then we just assume that it's as is. So we can say K, NO, and ozone. That would be sufficient for rate law. Well, almost, because we haven't solved for K yet, and we're looking for rate constant as well. So let's go ahead and find rate constant. How do we find rate constant? You're going to go ahead and choose any table values here. I'm going to just choose the first one for now, okay? So say I chose the first one, I'm going to insert all of these values in to the rate law equation to find K. So if we want to find K and we want K to be alone, let's divide the concentration of NOs and O's on both sides. So NO disappears and we have K is equal to the rate divided by concentration of NO and ozone. Rate for the first row is 6.6 times 10 to the negative 5. I'm going to not input the unit for now because it gets complicating. Then go ahead and put 1.00 times 10 to the negative 6. And 3.00 times 10 to the negative 6. So those are all the values that could be inputted under K. So let's go ahead and calculate this out. So we have the parentheses of 6.6 times 10 to the negative 5. 6.6 times 10 to the negative 5. And then close the parentheses. And I will hit enter, okay? So which will give you that. And this divided by, so all over, I'm going to double parenthesize this time so that we have the 1 and the 3 separate. So 1.00 times 10 to the 10 to the negative 6. And open up another parentheses, 3.00 times 10 to the negative 6. Close the parentheses, and you're going to parenthesize again to close and close the whole thing. And so my k becomes 2.2 times 10 to the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 2.2 times 10 to the 7. 2.2 times 10 to the 7. Now, what is the unit here? What is the unit? Remember that the overall reaction order is 2. So 1 here and then 1 here. There's overall reaction is 2. So if you were to go back into the side, you remember that if you have a overall reaction for 2, then it's 1 over molarity and second. Okay, 1 over molarity and second. So let's go back to, so that would be 1 over molarity second, or you could write m to the negative first power and s to the negative first power. So that's my rate constant. So this table shows you how the relationship between the reaction rate and concentration time and the reaction order. So if the concentration doubles and the reaction doubles, and we know the reaction order is 1. But say the concentration doubles, but the reaction rate quadruples. Then we can say the reaction is order 2, or concentration increased 3 times, but then the reaction rate increased by 9 times, we can say reaction order has doubled. And so on and so forth based on looking at this table. But what happens if the concentration, no matter what the concentration time, the reaction rate, it doesn't change, it's always constant. That means the reaction order is going to be 0. So one of these m or n would be 0. Now, putting all this together, let's try a learning check. The learning check shows that here's acetaldehyde decomposing to methane and carbon monoxide. You're going to determine rate law and the rate constant. So try this and come back and check the key. So here is the key. You'll notice that as concentration doubles, the reaction rate quadrupled, meaning that the reaction order for acetaldehyde is 2. So I have put 2. So the overall reaction is 2. And I have solved that K is 6.73 times 10 to the negative 6, 1 over molarity times the second. And that is because this is reaction overall is 2. So this has to be the unit. I've chosen trial 2 to solve for K. You can choose trial 1, you can trial 3. The K will come out to be the same no matter which trial you choose.